Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video we discussed about the business transactions. In that we discussed our cash transactions in detail. So now let's discuss about the credit transactions. Credit transaction means in this type of transactions money is not paid immediately for the purchase and sales transactions of assets, goods and services. Money for those purchase and sale is to be paid in the future. However, exchange of assets, goods and services is made in present. Accounts are settled in future. From these, the transactions, from credit transactions, relations of debtor and creditor comes into existence. In brief, purchase and sales of assets, goods and services are made in present but their money is payable or receivable in the future. These transactions are recognized as credit transactions. For example, goods worth of rupees 4,000 is sold to Kalpana on credit. Kalpana becomes debtor of business and business becomes creditor for Kalpana because Kalpana has to pay money to business in the future. So Kalpana becomes debtor of the business and business becomes creditor for Kalpana. Goods of worth rupees 6,000 is purchased from Deepika. So in this case Deepika on credit. So in this case Deepika becomes creditor of business and business becomes debtor for Deepika because now the business have to pay money to Deepika in the future for the purchase of goods. So in the credit transaction, the relation of debtor and creditor comes into existence. So these were the meaning of credit transactions. Now let's discuss about the third type, that is other transactions. In other transactions means the transactions that do not fall in the above mentioned two types are special transactions. These are neither cash nor credit transactions. These are special transactions. These transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. For example, goods destroyed in accident, theft of goods, goods given for donation, goods given for advertisement, assets turned defective or useless, etc. are all the other transactions and they do not fall in the category of cash and credit transaction. So they are known as special transactions. Now let's move to the next point, that is internal or external transaction viewpoint. So these transactions take place in two forms. That is, first one is internal transactions. In these transactions there is no need of other parties. These transactions would take place within the business. These transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. For example, depreciation on assets, loss due to natural calamity, etc. These are all economic transactions but are non-cash transactions. So these are called internal transactions because this transaction takes place within the business. No other parties are involved. So these are known as internal transactions. Second is external transactions. External transaction means these transactions are between business and other parties. These are economic transactions of business. These transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. For example, sale of goods to customers, payment of wages to workers, interest received from bank, amount paid for insurance premium, purchase of machinery, cash deposited in bank, etc. are all called external transactions because these transactions takes place between the business and the other parties. So they are known as external transactions. Now the next type of business transaction is non-economic transactions. Non-economic transaction means in the books of accounts of business only economic transactions of business are recorded. Non-economic transactions are not recorded in the books of accounts. There is no significance of non-economic transactions in accounting. Means there is no importance of non-economic transactions in accounting. So the non-economic transactions are those transactions whose value cannot be measured in terms of money. For example, an order is received to supply goods after 1 month. A meeting held with consultants for expansion of business. These are non-economic transactions and they are not recorded in the books of accounts. So, familiarity with economic transactions and non-economic transactions provide the simplicity in the writing of accounts. So now, let's discuss about the questions. So this is the first question. This question is about you have to describe whether the following transactions are economic transactions or non-economic transactions. So these are all various types of transactions that business has made. So there are 11 transactions made by the business and you have to identify each transaction whether the transaction is a credit transaction or cash transaction. So let's start with the first one and this is the solution. So the first transaction is assets purchased for 10,000. So here assets purchased for 10,000. So here the money is involved because assets are purchased for rupees 10,000. So this is called economic transaction because cash is paid against assets, because assets is purchased and in return cash is paid. So this is known as economic transactions. Second transaction is assets purchased from Radha for 12,000 on credit. So this is also called economic transaction because there is a relation of debtor and creditor because the assets is purchased from Radha on credit. So this is also an economic transaction. Third transaction is assets sold for 20,000. So this is also an economic transaction because assets is sold for 20,000. So the cash is received against the assets. So it is an economic transaction. Fourth is assets sold to Meera on credit for 22,000. So this is also an economic transaction because the relation of debtor and creditor is created because assets is sold to Meera on credit. So this is also an economic transaction. Fifth is rupees 8,000 paid for wages. So this is an economic transaction because cash is paid against the services done by the workers. Sixth is rupees 9,000 received for rent. This is also an economic transaction because cash is received against the services because 9,000 is received for rent. So it is an economic transaction. Seventh is liability of rupees 15,000 is settled. This is also an economic transaction because liability is paid in cash. Liability of rupees 15,000 is settled means either a party has paid or we can say that returned the money in cash. So it is called settled. So this is called economic transaction because liability is paid in cash. Eighth is receivable of rupees 18,000 is received. So this is also an economic transaction because receivable is received in cash. If nothing is mentioned whether it is done in cash or credit, then you have to assume that the transaction has taken place in the form of cash transactions. Cash transaction. So receivable of 18,000 is received. So it is an economic transaction because receivable is received in cash. Ninth is an order is received to supply goods of rupees 10,000. So only the order is taken place. So this is a non-economic transaction because it is neither cash transaction nor established relation of debtor and creditor because it is not it is neither cash transaction and nor it is a credit transaction. Only the order is taken. So it is a non-economic transactions. Next is a planning is made to buy one asset. So again this is not non-economic transactions because only the planning is made to buy assets. It is not purchased. So only planning is made. So it is a non-economic transactions because it is neither cash transactions nor establishes relation of debtor and creditor. And the last transaction is to enhance sales. For discussion, a meeting is arranged with salesman. So again this is a non-economic transaction because only a meeting is arranged with salesman. So it is a neither cash transaction nor establishes relation of debtor and creditor. So this was the following example of question to how to identify whether this is a cash transaction or credit transaction. So there is a note that to recognize economic transactions from the following two questions, when the answer of one question is yes, then the respective transaction will be treated as economic transactions. Otherwise, it will be non-economic transactions. You have to question yourself, like while reading that transaction. You have to question yourself that is there any exchange of cash has taken place, any exchange of cash has taken place or not. You have to question yourself. And the second question you have to taken yourself is, does the relation of debtor and creditor comes into existence? These two questions have to question yourself whether there is any exchange of cash or whether any relation has taken place, debtor and creditor. So if any one of the condition is fulfilled, then it would be economic transactions, and if no, then it would be non-economic transactions. So after having recognition of economic and non-economic transactions, the knowledge of the cash and credit transaction is also important. So identification of cash and credit transactions. The first is cash transactions. In this kind of transactions, there is an exchange through cash or bank. In such transactions, the word cash is mentioned. Means the word cash is mentioned in cash transactions. If the word cash is not mentioned and the name of a person is not mentioned, then also it is treated as cash transaction. Means if the word cash is not mentioned and if the name of a person is also not mentioned, or whether it is also not mentioned that it is made on credit, if these three things are not mentioned, then you have to assume that it is treated that the transaction has taken place in a cash transaction. In this transaction, bank or cash account is definitely affected, and consequently bank or cash increases or decreases. So in credit transactions, in this kind of transactions, if no exchange through cash or bank is mentioned, there is emergence of relationship of debtor and creditor. Name of the person is mentioned. The word cash and bank is not mentioned. So in credit transaction, name of the person is mentioned, but the cash and bank is not mentioned. So if the name of the person is mentioned, you have to assume that it is a credit transaction, and it definitely affects the accounts of a person. So these were the following sentences which helps you to identify whether it is a credit transaction or whether it is a cash transactions. So again, this is an example of 2. So now I want you guys to solve this example and identify the various transactions, whether it is made cash transactions or whether it is a credit transactions. So now let's move to the next point, that is voucher. So I think we would be stopping here. In the next video we would be continuing with the voucher. So if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to comment below the video. Thank you.